Hi guys, and welcome to another Elementor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've been building this little site here with the Halo theme, which is an absolutely free theme from the folks that make the Elementor plugin. And if you're using Elementor or any other builder for that matter, it's an extremely fast site, but it is optimized for Elementor. And when we left off last time, we put in the logo and the site favicon or site icon up here. Today we're going to create our first page and just do a little hero section. We've got a little hero section here with a button and a little Ken Burns effect slider going on in the background. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is hit new for a new page. Call it what you want. I'm going to call mine home. And over on the right hand side down here, I want to use an Elementor full width template. That means we can use all the available space of our viewport. Now, if that's not visible, it's probably closed down. It's in page attributes. Just hit the little chevron. It'll open up for you there. And I want to edit with Elementor. We're using the free version of Elementor that Halo theme automatically prompts you to install. Okay, so here we are. First thing I want to do is put a little heading in. So I'm going to grab the heading block, left click, hold it, and then just drop it where I want it. Put in the text that you want there. I'm going to pop it in the middle. I won't bother colouring it just yet. We'll do all that when we've got our background in so we know what's going on. So that heading's fine. Let's go in and add a bit of text underneath it. So I'm going to use a text editor module. I'm going to just drop it underneath our welcome there. Now I want a little bit more text than that, and I've got no real content. Obviously you'd have real content for your site, so I'm going to go to lipsum.com and grab a bit of dummy text there. I'll go in, replace their lorem ipsum with my lorem ipsum. There we go, a little bit more text there. And again, I'm not going to style it too much. I will pop it in the middle. So I'm going to go to style, just pop it in the middle there. And what else do we want? Let's have a little button, a little call to action down below here. That's a good idea for a little hero section. So again, we'll go back to our little matrix where we find all of our modules or widgets. There's a button. And these are all the basic ones you get with the free ones. They've got some down here you get with the Pro. And they've got more down here that you can use with the free one. We'll be using these as we go along. They've got ones for WooCommerce if you've got it installed, and they've got the regular WordPress ones also. So let's add a little button, go back up to the top here. Again, just going to grab the button, I'm going to drop it underneath our little text there. There it is. Put in what you want it to say right here, learn more perhaps. Obviously, depending on what you're doing, that's entirely up to you. Now you can use these. The default info, success, warning and danger are actually default bootstrap colors. For instance, success is green, warning is red. Info, I can't remember what that is. That's blue. Okay. But I'm going to put my own color in anyways. It really doesn't matter too much about that. Obviously down below here, this is where you put your link. And obviously, best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in opening in the same window. If you're linking off site, somebody else's site, open it in a new tab. That way your site stays open. Alignment wise, I'm going to put it in the middle. Obviously you can have left and right, but they've got a nice one as well, which is justify, which makes it into a full width button. I don't want that for this particular thing, but that is a nice little option right there. I'm going to leave mine on center aligned. Size, let's make it medium. There we go, it's just slightly bigger. You can add an icon if you want. At the moment I've got none. You can upload your own icon if you want to, or you can choose from the icon library, and there's plenty to choose from. You can do a search here for anything you want and it'll come up with something for you. They're using the regular font Awesome, which is great, but I'm not going to actually use an icon for this today. So I'm going to leave mine on none right there. Okay, let's Leave that just as it is, and now let's work on our background here, our section. Now before I go any further, I'm going to explain what we've got going on here. A little blue tab at the top there, that's for the section, which stretches the whole of the width of the viewport here. A little dark icon right here, this is the column that resides within the section. And our little blue icons to the side here are the icons for the widgets we're using. So I'm going to go into the section right here. And as you can see, it says section up here. First thing I'm going to do is go up and give it a bit of space top and bottom because it's too skinny. I want mine to be fairly large here. So I'm going to go down, I've gone over to the advanced tab in the section. I'm going to go down to padding, but I'm going to uncheck the chain because if you leave that checked, it'll do top, bottom, left and right all at once for you. I just want to do the top and bottom, so I'm going to uncheck that. Here's the top. I'm going to give it 150 on the top and 150 on the bottom, which is great. Now you've got the option here for responsive devices, which is really nice. If you just click on the little desktop icon there, you can hit tablet and see what it's going to look like on a tablet. I don't actually mind that because remember, we're going to put an image behind here. In fact, we're going to have fading images, a bit of a slideshow going on behind here. So I think this is going to be fine, but you can have different, for instance, you can make it 100 on there, and it's done all sides at once for me, like I was saying before. So if I undo that, hit the chain, we put 100 top bottom. You can have different ones for tablet, and again we can go in and look at mobile, click on the little tablet icon there, and we've got a mobile one below, and we've got it on mobile. And you might want to change that to 50 perhaps. Again, I'm going to uncheck it, 50 top, 50 bottom. So you can have different on all devices, which is great. So let's go back to our desktop, and we're back to our 150 top and bottom there, which is fantastic. Alright, well let's put our background in our section while we're here. So to do that, we'll go over to our style. Here's the background, top one. It may be closed up. If so, hit the little chevron, it'll open up. You've got regular color, you've got a gradient, you've got video if you want, or you've got slideshow, which that's what I'm going to use today. I've got no images selected. Now I use various different free stock photo sites, and one that I grabbed the pictures for this today is one called pexels.com. I'll put this below. I just went in there, did a search for computers, and you can download these images. Minimum you want for a sort of full width screen like that is 1920. You can use bigger ones if you want, but you must remember when you're adding images, the larger the image is, the more time it takes to load. So if you can make them as small as you need them, they don't want to be smaller than you need, but they don't want to be bigger than you need for speed. So I tend to use 1920 width wise for any full width. So you just select whatever size you want, hit the download. I'm using Google Chrome, so it downloads it to my browser window here. You can say thanks by either giving them a tweet, or you can donate. These people work very hard, or you can share on Instagram, or you can just X out like that. Just click anywhere and go back and choose some more. Okay, so I've got some images here somewhere, and here they are. So I'm going to go to my site, back to where we were, and I'm going to hit the little add images icon there. I'm simply going to pull all of my images in, got them in this folder. I'm going to drop them in here. Now we mentioned about alt text in previous videos. It should be a description of the image itself. A lot of people use it for keywords and geolocation data. That's entirely up to you. For expediency, I'm just going to leave that out today. So we've got all those images selected. To unselect one, just click on it. And to reselect it, just click on it again. I've got those selected, so let's pop those in. You can rearrange just by moving things around like this if you wish. When you're happy, just insert it into the gallery. And as you can see, we've got it behind there, and it's going to change every 5 seconds or 5,000 milliseconds. I might change that to 7 seconds. Transition we've got at the moment is fade. You can have them slide right or slide left if you prefer. If we wait our 7 seconds, that will slide again in a moment. But I'm happy for mine to fade. Time it takes for one to fade or slide into the other is the transition duration. I'm going to up this to say 700 milliseconds, which is just over 2/3 of a second. Works for me. Background size, default, I'm going to have mine cover. If you've got different size images, that's a great idea, so it'll just make sure your images do cover the actual background there. Position's fine. Center I usually find works best because that's where usually the action is within an image. Okay, now there's a great little feature here called Ken Burns effect, which will sort of magnify it in a little bit, zoom it slightly while you're watching it. If I turn it on, you'll see what it does. And again, you've got to remember this is all with the free version with Elementor, which is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to leave that on. I quite like that one, or you can have it going out if you prefer. Whichever works best for you. Okay, well, I'm finding that our writing here is not really that legible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of it, and then I might give our background an overlay so we can read it even better. So I'm going to go into the actual modules themselves. Remember the little blue tabs are for the modules or widgets. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go to the style. You can give it a color. I'm going to make mine white. As you can see, that's turned that white. Don't want to give it any text shadow. I'll go into the typography. I think I'll make it a bit bigger. Let's make it say 40 pixels. That's better. And you've got weight down here if you want to make it bold or skinny. You can transform it to uppercase or lowercase or whatever you want to do there. I'm going to leave mine on the default. Style wise, it's italic, normal and oblique, usual sort of things. Decoration will be underline and line through and things like that. But again, I'm going to leave that all out. Line height is the space up and below, but I'm happy with that. Letter spacing, obviously that's the space between the letters, and again I'm happy with that. So I'm going to move on to my next one, this text here. Again, I'm going to go to style, color, I'm going to make that white. I'm not going to go into the typography, I'm just going to leave that exactly as it is. I'm quite comfortable with that. Okay, now our little button here, let's go into there. And as I said, you can put your link in and what have you. Let's go over to our style tab. And I'm going to make it, let's make it the same color as this logo right here. This light blue and then the dark blue when we hover over it. I've got a free little Chrome color picker up here. I'm just going to hover over it. Of course, you can make it any color you want. I'm going to copy that color. Exit out. And background color. I'm simply going to paste the hex code in there. There we go, it's fine. And let's get the other color, the darker blue, and we'll have that for the hover color. Again, grab my little color picker up there. Copy that, close it down. I'm going to move over to hover over here. Background color. I'm just going to paste that in there again. Now when I hover, it's going to be that dark blue. You can change the text color as well on hover and normal if you want to, but I'm going to leave mine as white there. If you want to give it a border, you can do so down here. And they've also just above here got a hover animation. There's several to choose from. You can make it bounce, skew, wobble, buzz. Let's have it pulse perhaps. And when I hover over it now, it sort of pulses like that. That's going to get people's attention if you like that sort of thing. I'll leave that on there. Make your button pill shape by giving it a big border radius, say 50. As you can see, that makes it pill shaped. Or take it away and you've got none. Actually, that's the default. There is a bit of a corner on there. Put it to 0 and then you've got a perfectly square button. If you want to add box shadow, you can do so here. I don't want to add any box shadow. I'm going to take that away and leave it on the default. And we're pretty much done there. If you want to add padding top or bottom, that will make the button bigger and smaller. If I take this away, for instance, if I put 20 on top and bottom, I'll make that button a lot deeper. Put 30 left and right. It'll make that button a lot wider. I've got 300 there. I don't really want quite as much as that. But again, I'm happy with the default, so I'm going to take it all the way and leave it how it was. Great. So I'm fairly happy with that, but I still think that writing is a little hard to read. So I'm going to go back into the section. I'm going to go down to background overlay. And I'm going to hit the little paintbrush. I can put a gradient in. I'm just going to use a regular color. Choose a color. I have a dark blue perhaps. Put in blue. It's fairly dark right there. As you can see, you can lighten it up a little bit. As you can see, that's brought that writing out and you can read that really well now. So let's save what we got, publish, and preview the changes. And there we have it. We've got our beginnings of our first little page here for our Hello theme. We've got our little logo up there. We've got no menu as yet, but we've got a little hero section here with a button, a little Ken Burns effect, and a little slideshow going on there. That's great. In our next video, we'll just create a new section below and keep building. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, ring the bell, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.